Oh, Todd McFarlane, you have done it again. You have listened to the community. They want a Batman the Animated Series Batcave re-release from the DC Direct days. This has become a rare artifact on the collector market. If you see the asking prices, it's a lot. And it's more than the retail for this price. But oh dear, here's the price for the McFarlane one. $225, and I do think that is excluding shipping, and it's a huge thing to ship. And when the price came up, the demand went down because how dare McFarlane not charge below 150 for this Batcave in 2025? Because people don't want to pay scalper prices, and the scalper price for scalper in between quotation marks, because the DC Direct one is never been scalped. Nobody has scalped that thing. You can't change my mind on that, honestly. And otherwise, you should have a look at the definition of scalping. All of this stuff sat at the stores, comic book stores. Couldn't get rid of it. Maybe some newer releases. So when Scarecrow, Two-Face, Grey Ghost came out, that was quite popular and low quantities were made. That's why they were so rare on the aftermarket. And all before that was all fun and games because the figures were €10, the Batcave was 100 or 120. You could sell parts of your Batcave. That's how high in demand it was. So I purchased it for a cheap price. I sat on it for a long time, just displaying the Batcave and whatever. Didn't use the box, but I did keep it in case I wanted to move and I needed that. So I sold the box, I believe, for like $75 or something. I sold the extra sticker sheet that I had for like $35. So I almost got all my money back for accessories from this set to fund my own set. And it's so fun to see that people are now complaining about everything that's included and the price being too high. But there's some people in aftermarkets who paid $1,000 for this a few years ago. And even, I think a few months back, the price is definitely dropping down after the leak was announced, because most likely the leak is nowadays confirmed for McFarlane stuff. And 99% of the time, we see that actually happening. So if you follow the right sources, not the grain of salt guy, just the right sources, you can definitely tell what this is going to be releasing. But then again, it's going to be leaking all over the internet after the source reveals it. So this was no surprise. So the price already dropped down and people are not happy with the price. They don't want to pay it. So they didn't just want the Batman the Animated Series Batcave. They wanted it for a discounted price already. That's just funny to me. What do you want? Do you want this thing or not? Do you want to pay aftermarket prices or not? If you want this collectible, maybe it's just a generic perspective that people have of McFarlane stuff. I do have to agree with it because I do think that the quality has been lower and the quality control has definitely been close to non-existent for this line. And with so much paintwork missing and accessories not being colored the right way, just being forgotten and the white prototype look, it's just honestly very odd. But then again, now you can get it, and now people are complaining about the price. It's never going to be good. It's never going to be perfect. We get a Batcave, and oh dear, how dare they not ask 150 or less for this? And I'm going to wait for Ross, and I'm going to wait for this, and then all the people are going to be getting it at Ross. Let's say this goes to Ross for $100. People are going to be picking it up, and there's going to be 5 at one store, and one person is going to be picking up all 5 for $100 and going to be reselling them for the same price. Then people are going to be missing out at Ross and still paying aftermarket prices. You honestly can't make it up. This is the way it's going to happen. Is the way it happened with the Batwing. You see so many people complaining about the Batman Animated Series Batwing that it goes to Ross, and then someone buys 2, and the world explodes basically in the reactions. How dare they purchase 2? It's honestly mind-boggling how people use the scalper things and, oh, I couldn't get it or it was too expensive. It's just maybe have a look at the collecting world, how it works. If you're just new, I don't blame you, but this is just common stuff that happens. And if you don't see the way that this is happening, best of luck. Just wait for us. Take your chances, because whatever could happen. People took their chances that Scarecrow and Two-Face were going to be on sale, the lower quantity run of DC Direct. And what do you know? I purchased a collection. Scarecrow was in there. Two-Face was in there. I sold 2 figures for $500, and those figures were purchased for $30 a piece. Go figure. People are just want to pay. Now that it's available, people don't care about it and they think it's too expensive. And when it's sold out, people want to pay aftermarket prices. Commando Penguin, it was around $35 here in the Netherlands. On all the Dutch websites, it's sold out. So I went in Europe. It was already pushing 40. Now it's pushing to 47 remaining stock. I decided to purchase more because I saw that the aftermarket was going up already. So I purchased more penguins, and I see that the aftermarket prices are already up to 90 euros for 3 penguins. So one retail price for one penguin minifigure. Doesn't even matter which size because they have to buy all 3. So people buy 90 euros for 3 penguin commandos, one single box. That's the kind of stuff you can't make up, and you people don't know what you want from McFarlane. And I have to say it, I don't really love McFarlane. They make a lot of cool stuff that probably no one else would make. I really appreciate them for making a lot of the Batmobiles, but once Jazzic Dioramas makes the Batmobiles, it will be over. For me personally, I will sell those off. I do appreciate that they did the Batman and Robin one. I had never seen that in this scale. Batman Forever, never seen that in this scale. The Batman 2022 Batmobile, kind of meh. It was a really lackluster release, way too expensive, but for the sake of an early review, I decided to give into it, and I'm not going to be doing that again. All of these Batmobiles go on sale now here in Europe for like 30 euros, so I'm just going to be waiting, and then I'll probably pick up the Batman Beyond Batmobile somewhere for 30 euros in the next year or two. I do applaud them for making that huge Batwing from the Flash movie. I have sold mine because I just don't care enough about the Flash movie. So I sold that. I like that they re-release a lot of the DC Direct stuff. I do think it's cool that they have made new attempts at the Batman the Animated Series stuff. It's not enough. For me, it's not enough. So I'm not happy with the direction. I am not happy with the quality they provide. But there are some parts, pieces, vehicles in between those lines that I can really use for my collection, and I appreciate them for that. And I am excited. As soon as I got the Penguin Commandos in, it's cool. The Penguin figure, the Catwoman, the Max Shrek also close to, well, it's not a perfect figure, but the head sculpts are really good, and that's the part that I want to use. So I would say it's a really perfect release for me. That kind of stuff will probably not be replicated, so it's something that I really appreciate by McFarlane, even though I have a lot of things to say about McFarlane. So again, do with that information as you please. And I'm very curious as what you guys think about the theory of this being too expensive. And then at the end of the day, people are still going to be missing out, paying aftermarket prices after a while, and doing it all over again.